Welcome to Yoga Biz Studio, a bi-weekly broadcast of 10 to 30 minutes in length, hosted by me, Carla Wilson, owner of wilsonmediaservices.com, and also by my colleague,
Keeley Mitchell, principal at Z Living.
On each of our episodes, we share business, legal, and marketing tips and insights for yoga business owners and independent yoga teachers. We use Google Plus Hangouts on Air to produce our show, so this gives us several options for you to access our show and interact with us during and after the show. If you happen to be watching our show via YouTube, you'll see at the bottom of the video player a little yellow graphic. When you click that graphic, it will navigate you to a page on Google that houses this video plus any questions and answers we might have regarding today's show. Today's episode is we titled it New Year, New Intentions. So Keeley and I wanted to start off the episodes this year explaining the importance of setting intentions for your business, but we also wanted to discuss some trends happening in the business and marketing fields that might help you set some higher intentions or higher expectations for yourself and for your business in this year of 2015. But first, let me wish everyone a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Keeley.
Happy New Year, Carla. Happy New Year, everyone. So happy you are able to join us for the first episode of 2015. And our topic is so fitting. New year, new intentions. Is there anything you have put off last year that you decided you have to do this year? Are you ready to try something new, just delving into, say, like a new specialized area or offering a new workshop? Or have you already started a new path and you're so excited? Well, this episode is for you. Carla and I have some really great pieces of information and advice to give you. And from what I've seen so far in 2015, it is already off to a great start for so many people. And I'm excited to see what the year brings.
You know, Keeley, you're exactly right about that. I love the new year. I love the feeling of blank slate that the new year brings. And you know, the questions you pose are really a fantastic way to get our conversation today started. Just as we would suggest to our students at the beginning of a yoga class to integrate them into practice, the new year is a time of calming the mind and making big plans. And recently I read somewhere that a busy mind cannot make clear decisions. So a still calm mind will make thinking big a bit easier. I took some time off and followed some advice from our last episode over the holidays. I cleared off my desk, I cleared out some files, I organized my office. I also spent some time to set my budget and do some projections for this year. And really, there are two words that I've decided that are my themes for this year. The words are big and magical. And I chose that because recently a colleague posted a graphic that was two circles, and one circle said comfort zone, and another circle said this is where the magic happens. So it was just kind of one of those reminders that, yeah, you've got to step out of your comfort zone if you really want to think big and grow your business.
I love that, Carla, and I've actually seen that before, and it's kind of like profound when you actually look at it because it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the new year is definitely a time to calm the mind, especially after the craziness of the holidays. So I am still settling down from the holidays, but I actually did take some time to, on New Year's Day to just do that, to settle my mind. I also set my intentions for the year and began welcoming positive energy into my life, both personal and career-wise. And it's amazing. I want to remind everyone, like when you kind of just like welcome the positive energy and just, go with the flow, it's amazing things that will happen. And Carla, I love how you did your budget and financial projections. I actually did a little bit of that myself. So you are way ahead of so many. I did a little, so I will say I'm a little bit ahead of of so many. Um, so I do have some great business information out there for those of you who still need to set your intentions, or if you've already set your intentions, you may get an idea for another. So I want to jump into that. So the first thing I want to share with everyone is for those of you who are wanting to take a leap and start your own business, what I'm about to say will make you happy. The economy overall seems to be improving, and there are strong indicators that 2015 will be a year of growth. This is excellent news for small business owners looking to launch or expand. And along these same positive lines, small businesses are beginning to hire again. However, they are not looking to just fill a position, they're looking for talent. So when Carla and I told you about continuing your education and keeping yourself current on your practices, that's what we were talking about. So keep that in mind. Um, and it makes sense. You know, you want the best people because the best people can, help your business grow. So what does that all of this mean? Whether you are running your own business, hoping to start a business, or looking for a job in 2015, it is expected to deliver this year. So good news. I feel like I'm doing like the CNN, economy report.
You're doing a great
But
job of delivering, yes.
But I think it's important to know that while the yoga business is, we kind of have our own little niche area, it still is impacted by the overall economy. So,
Sure.
everyone's going to want to know, that there's a sign of growth. And of course, if there's growth, then your clients have more money, which means you can offer more classes and more people will flock to your classes, and, you'll make more. So that's always good. Number two, the next piece of information is not meant to step on Carla's marketing guru toes, but to reinforce. All indicators are increasingly pointing towards the need to market. Now, Carla and I tell you this all the time. However, emphasis is being placed on podcasts and videos, which I thought was so interesting. As 2014 was ending, Carla kept reminding all of us about podcasts. YouTube is expected again to be a huge avenue for marketing, and podcasts are expected to become even bigger, which is really exciting, which means I have to get on the ball with my podcast. So, number three, of course, I could not disappoint you with some legal issues you need to be aware of for 2015. The first being is the trend for increasing the minimum wage. I hope most of you have probably heard this in the news, but you need to be aware of that many states are actually going to be raising their minimum wage. Actually, probably already have done it. Most of them was effective January 1st. If you employ staff, please keep an eye on the trend to make sure you are not violating any employment laws and you're paying your staff accordingly. There are 20 states plus Washington, D.C. That had agreed to raise their minimum wage. We have provided a link to that on our website. So if you're not sure whether your state is one of them, you can click on the link and you can get the list of the 20 states. Number four, another little legal thing you should be aware of. We have successfully gone through the first year of the new healthcare, the Affordable Act. And so I'm telling everyone, meet with your accountants because we need to determine how this impacts your tax liability. If you did not get the proper insurance or coverage, you might have a penalty and your accountant will need to figure that out. So I'm giving everyone a huge, huge warning about this. Please make sure that you have, one, the proper coverage and insurance, and that last year, whatever you had, consult someone to make sure that your coverage doesn't impact your tax liability. So ask your accountant that, or if you do TurboTax, I'm sure TurboTax will have it up there asking you the proper questions as well. And lastly, I will give my usual legal reminders for your intentions. If you are not properly insured, please set the intention today to get proper insurance. It is so, so very important. You need to protect your business, and protecting your business protects yourself. Also, if you still are operating as a sole proprietor, make the commitment today. I have a lot of immediate commitments you need to make to form a legal entity for your business. By protecting yourself and laying the proper foundation, you're ensuring your business is around for years to come. So those are my intentions for 2015, the first episode. Anyone ever has questions, please contact me. But really, make sure minimum wage, your Affordable Health Care Act, insurance, and forming your legal entity are on top of the list, as well as your marketing, because that's huge. Carla and I will continue in 2015 to remind you about your marketing.
Absolutely. Keeley, I'm really ready for a year of growth, so I was really happy to hear you say that. And just to remind our viewers, we do have a link to the article. It should be displaying with this video. If it's set up, I believe I have it set up properly on the Google event page. But if not, as Keeley said, it will be on our website as well. So I wanted to basically also say that I wholeheartedly agree about the importance of video and especially audio for your marketing efforts in 2015. I'm not sure if you are aware of this, but there was a really popular podcast that was launched in the fall of 2014 called Serial. It was produced by WBEZ in Chicago that also produces This American Life, which is a popular podcast. The reason I followed this so closely was this was only produced on podcast. This was not a terrestrial radio show that they then created a subsequent podcast for, which is typically what happens with the public radio space or news or other radio stations. They'll have a regular, this show happens on Thursdays at 4 p.m. And if you can't listen to Thursdays at 4 p.m., then you can listen to the show on podcast basically whenever. So WBEZ decided they would release this podcast, which was basically a story told week by week over the course of 12 weeks, but it was only produced on podcast. Well, 800,000 subscribers later, it gained in popularity, and they were able to raise enough money. There's going to be a second season, yay, sometime in 2015. So what I read from that is the importance of having audio, especially. I find that audio is easier to produce than video. So many folks are a little camera shy, so when I try to encourage them to create video, they're very hesitant and intimidated by video. But with audio, you can still make a connection that's higher than just an email conversation going back and forth, and yet you don't have to stand in front of a camera to start building that rapport with your customers. So I highly suggest you considering creating a podcast in your marketing efforts for this year. You could definitely go back, pardon me, I just lost my train of thought for a moment. I just wanted to remind everybody that we had an episode a few weeks ago that explained the whole process of taking audio and video and how to get it online. So that will outline the process for you, but of course, you can always reach out if you have questions about doing that as well. And I don't want to emphasize audio so much and make it sound like I'm downplaying video, because video is super important. Images are still as important as they were. Images were huge in marketing for 2014. A picture's worth 1,000 words, so it's really good to have images and video included in your marketing. And I follow a group called Social Media Examiner, and I will make sure that we have this link ready for you in the post as well. And they had 28 predictions for marketing for 2015, and by no surprise, many of those 28 predictions talked about video. So it is really important for your marketing efforts to include some type of video and audio in this type of digital media in your marketing for 2015. So even if you're only doing something, say, once a quarter, challenge yourself, go outside your comfort zone, and set an intention that once a quarter I will record some audio that I'll send out to my audience, or I'll record a video that I'll send out to my audience.
Awesome advice, Carla, as always. I love that you explain the benefits of both video and audio. audio will definitely be my thing, like I keep telling everyone this year, because you don't have to worry about the appearance with audio. And you can even be in your footed PJs and no one would ever know when you do the audio, which I personally love. Um,
Yeah, I
so,
have to agree. How much audio I record while I'm in my pajamas. It's awesome.
yeah, I should have started with that first versus like the YouTube detox. I should have done audio.
Oh, absolutely. So our next episode will be on Thursday, January 22nd. And on that episode, we will discuss how to establish yourself in a new area once you have moved, how to find a new yoga community when you have moved. In the meantime, if you have questions or show ideas, we would love to hear from you. Please feel free to email us at yogabizstudio@gmail.com. You can find us on our website at yogabizstudio.com or on the social networks of Facebook, Google Plus, and LinkedIn at, Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus at Yoga Biz Studio.
Thanks, Carla, and thank you for our audience for joining us today. Our Yoga Biz Studio show is brought to you weekly by Keeley Mitchell of Z Living and Carla Wilson of Wilson Media Services. Until our next episode, namaste.
Namaste.